Hey there folks, got a new knife for you. What I have here is the new Carter Trinity from Ontario Knife Company. This is their third model that they've collaborated with Robert Carter. The first one being the Prime, and the second one being the Square, and finally the Trinity, which I think is the coolest name by far. So Ontario Knife Company's finally coming up with some improvements with the names. This one is a budget EDC, folks. It is titanium frame lock with an odd lock bar cutout, if you can see there. Come on, focus. I'm using my phone today because I'm lazy. You can see that odd lock bar cutout, which is not the way Robert Carter's original model, the BBM. This is based off the BBM, which Rob called the BBM because it stands for bare bones model. Again, it is titanium frame lock, titanium pocket clip, G10 show side. Now, I spoke to Ontario Knife Company. They told me that this rides on Teflon washers, and on the G10 side, there's like a thin brass washer so that it won't rub against the G10. Very lightweight. I think I'll weigh it later if I remember, like two something ounces. It is a flipper, and for a flipper that's on washers, I'll tell you, folks, and I'm sure the people that own it will agree, it flies out pretty good, pretty smooth too. I actually thought it was on. No, I didn't take it apart. I actually thought it was on bearings because it flies out so well. Decent centering, awesome. Of course, I checked that. Flow through design. I haven't used the phone in a while. Hopefully this shows you guys. Very clean. Overall length is 7 inches. It's got a 3-inch blade. This one has a satin finish. Now, here's the controversial part that might, not so much controversy, but people are belly aching about it. Now, folks, keep in mind this budget EDC was a whopping $59. And, okay, so the steel is Osage steel, which people were a little bit upset about. They won. I think their other models, the Prime and the Square, were, I believe they are both D2 steel. Some of the knock on Osage steel is that it's it takes an edge well, but doesn't retain it. It doesn't hold the edge too good. So from what I understand with Osage steel, from the research I've done on the internets, that it depends on how you heat treat the knife. So if the maker heat treats it well, it should be a pretty durable starter blade. It's like a starter steel, right? More like an entry-level steel. Like my first few knives were Osage, Sandvik, right? My favorite Skyline was Sandvik steel, which is still probably one of my favorite steels to date. This particular knife was produced in Taiwan, which a lot of the better produced knives like the Spydercos are produced in Taiwan. How does it compare to the original BBM? I just happen to have one here. So this one is my custom BBM from Rob Carter. This one is a W2 steel. This does ride on washers. So you can see that it is pretty much spot on. Pretty comparable in size. Right? The only difference is Rob's original, and I believe the prototype he sent to Ontario Knife Company, had a hole. I don't think I've seen Rob made the BBM as a flipper. I think he's done them either with a hole or a thumb stud. You can see the how he formed the handle, and you can see that pretty much the Trinity remains pretty much the same handle shape. Let me put on my glasses. I can't see shit. Right? The only difference there is the flipper tab. Now, I was a little bit skeptical with the flipper tab because when you see the pictures of the knife before I bought it, now I learned this from the Wingineer Menovate. He said typically if the flipper tab is below like the, what would you call it, the axis line of the pivot, it might not flip so good. I think what he said was if you want to make a good flipper, the flipper tab should be above, a little bit above the pivot screw. The flipper tab does not have any jimping. You can push button it, or you can light switch it. And like I said, it really flies out really well. I am impressed. No jimping on the back of the spine. Really no jimping at all on this knife. So, but this flipper kind of acts really well to prevent your finger from slipping forward, God forbid. And I thought that the flipper tab would actually prevent you from getting a nice purchase on the knife, but it actually works really well. Now, I don't know for you gents with larger hands, but for me, it actually pretty good. No hot spots. Can't complain. Yeah. Trinity. Let's see it. You want me to wait? I'll wait. I'll wait. Let's see what we got here. Not cooperating with me. Okay, here we go. Alright, let's put it down there. So it comes in at 2.52 ounces. Let's see how much the original BBM, my custom. Now this is full tie frame lock. 2.70. Really good. I think that's pretty neat. If you guys are concerned about lightweight carry, this will definitely answer that. Something comparable in size besides my BBM is this. That flies out really well. I take it back. These washer flippers fly out really good. So here's my skyline. So you can see that the skyline is a little bit larger. A little bit longer, I should say. But you can see it's in the same size. Nice design on the blade by Rob there. And Ontario Knife Company, it's really hard to capture this on the satin. Come on, this thing's not focusing at all. There we go. You see that card of Trinity, Loss 8, Rob's signature design on the blade, and on the back, Ontario Knife Company, Taiwan. Pretty nice milled pocket clip. Pretty cool. Not bad for 59 bucks. I did ask Ontario Knife Company if they have any plans to make different materials as far as the blade steel or the handle show side scale, and they said it's been discussed and maybe they'll do it. I'm sorry, folks. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's not cooperating with the focus. But there you go. All right, guys. Quick video. Sorry it was crappy. Peace.